Hi everybody, this is Horace Plays Games, and I would like today to talk about training in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Now, as you know, this is a very competitive shooter, and it may be very profitable, very beneficial to train. And I'm going to show you a method that works really well using one of the maps made especially for this. So what you do in order to get to the training, you go offline, play offline with bots. You go workshop, and then you're going to have to view the workshop. And I hope it shows my Steam overlay. And then you're going to search for aim_bots with a Z. And there's at least 2 aimbots maps. You need to use Mr. Euletical's aimbots. Not this one. I don't know what this one is, but this one. And you click on the plus here, which subscribes you to the map. It appears now in your workshop maps, and you go. You choose no bots, and it launches. Okay, so before we get started, a lot of you may be asking, why do I need to do this? Training with bots, how is that beneficial? And shouldn't I be better off doing arms race or deathmatch or even 1v1 or retake servers or casual or any number of things, even demolition? Choose terrorists in order to make it work right. I'm going to choose the USP and the M4A1 so that I don't make you deaf while I'm talking about these things. Okay. Now you will need to. The reason why this kind of training is beneficial is because when you're going to be doing deathmatch, you will be. If you're doing deathmatch for training, and deathmatch is the most firefight-rich form of Counter-Strike, you're going to be getting to maybe one firefight every 10 seconds, and this firefight is going to be lasting for maybe 1 second, on average. So 1/10 of your time will be spent, aiming and shooting at someone, and that's pretty intense. Like maybe 1/5 of your time if you're lucky enough to get onto a server that is busy enough. But as you can tell right now, what's going on with me is that I am getting into 1 firefight a second or 2 firefights in a second. Now, of course, you're going to say, well, these are not firefights. These bots aren't even moving. Well, they can move. I'll show you that later. But the important thing here to realize is that you can spend an hour training with this, and you will spend an hour aiming and shooting. Now, how the bots behave is controlled by the menu you can see here. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay. So the reason why this training is good is because you can spend an hour aiming and shooting 100% of the time, whereas in deathmatch, if you're lucky, you'll be spending 1/5 of your time aiming and shooting. Now that's 5 times more training for your time. So yeah, so you can do an hour's worth of training in deathmatch in maybe 10 minutes of this. Now this, when I say this, I don't mean these immobile bots. Now the other argument that people come up with very often is that, well, how can this be beneficial? These guys are not shooting back. In a real game, be it competitive or, in competitive or even deathmatch, people are shooting back, so that makes it more difficult, and I need it to be difficult for me to improve my skill. And the simple answer to that is no, you don't. And the reason for that is that it doesn't matter if someone can shoot faster than you can. It's all about, the only thing you can influence through training is not how fast other people shoot, but how fast and accurate you can shoot. So because of this, training you to shoot quickly and accurately is what you're doing this for. It doesn't matter if people are better than you. There will always be someone who's better than you, unless you're Kenny S. But you're not Kenny S if you're watching this. I mean, I wish Kenny S would watch this someday, but, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much other people are better than you. It's how much you can get better, and you can get better by doing this kind of training, because you will get more out of your 1 hour of training if you use this kind of training where you're not interrupted by dying and respawning and finding your way to the next enemy and the server restarting and all that stuff. Okay, so that's the reason. You know, if you can acquire your target as fast as you physiologically can, that means your nervous system is at 100% of its capacity for reflexes, precision, and all that. Then you know you've accomplished your training as best you can. And if someone's still better than you, then you know, so be it, because there's nothing you can do about it. But basically, them shooting at you doesn't make the training better. It makes the training less effective. Okay. So with that out of the way, I want to show some basics of the map. So the control panel is here. The weapons are all listed here. The SMGs are here. The heavies are here. Rifles, pistols, and so on. These are just decorations. They don't do anything. But if I do this, I have a Mag 7 now. I can't see. I aimed for the UMP. I got a P90. Okay, so let's go back to the M4A1. So that I don't make you guys deaf, but I'm not going to practice with the M4A1. So let's start the actual practice now. The first thing you want to do, okay, when you get on this server is just get some headshots like I've been doing, you know, on these guys that aren't moving. Okay, so you get, I don't know, there's a counter at the bottom. If you see right now, it's in the shadow right here at the bottom right of the screen. That tells you, just like in all matches of Counter-Strike, how many kills you have. So you go and make, you know, however many kills you feel you need, say 100. And when you've got your 100, you can do like this. Oh, no, not that. What? No, you can do this. And this resets the map. And see, I don't have a kill count at the bottom anymore. Okay, so that's how you reset your kill count. So for everything you do, you may want to have, you know, a certain kill count. So you want to do so many headshots on immobile bots, you go, okay, you have 1 kill, you have 2 kills, 3, and so on. Okay, so that's how you keep track of how many you have. So now for the first part of training, we're going to do reflex shooting, which is probably the most important thing you can train for, is reflex shooting. And reflex shooting is just basically someone appears in your field of vision, like this terrorist on my left, and you snap to his face and just hit that shot. Okay, I'm not hitting it. I don't have, my training is not in. So I'm just going to quickly demonstrate each kind of training you can do, and then I'll make another video that shows you, you know, what the benefits of this training is. Like right now I have not warmed up. I'm cold. I get really cold when I don't play Counter-Strike. So this is going to be a good demonstration of my lack of skills at this current point in time. And later on, after I've done all the phases of training that I'm showing you, I'm going to come back and do a short video demonstrating how much improvement there is. So what you want to do here is shoot this guy and this guy, both these guys, without stopping your crosshair ever. So you want to... Okay, I got one. So switch to the next target. Okay, and you go on like this, you know. Yeah, that's too easy, so, you know. Okay, so you do that for, say, I don't know, 50 kills if you want, 100 kills if you want. You'll notice that I reduced the range quite a bit, and the reason for that is that, and you know what you can do actually is, you know, change the range a little bit, make it different on each side a little bit, and then what this gives you is, you know, bots that you can do this closer with, and a lot closer, but these guys are so close that I have to back away in order to have, you know, a decent angle, you know. And okay, as you kill them, okay, as you kill them, see now they're further away, so you can do this with bots that are, you know, a greater distance away. This guy will get out of the way. And so on, okay? So, yeah, you can do this with varied ranges. You know, maybe vary your ranges every day, but like this is good because you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, the 1 is the longest range. It's not as long as it goes, but it's pretty long, so, you know, reflex shooting at that distance is really awesome when someone just appears, like this guy here, just appears at the edge of your field of vision, and you can just, you know, just shoot him in the head and not miss like I've missed. So if you train well enough for this, you know, constant movement shooting, you will be able to hit those fantastic shots of like boom, oh, ha! See that, you know, yeah. So in competitive, this gives you aimbot, you know, reports, unless like you're high rank. Okay, so that's the first kind of training you want to do. Second kind of training, okay, can be done with the same ranges, but I'll reset my kill count and also reset the walls. Okay, what happens is I have trouble seeing the bots against walls that have too much blood splatters on them, because of the, you know, it gets dark and those darker bots just really blend in too well. So I end up missing, and that's really not going to be the case too often in competitive. So, you know, between each type of training, you may want to, you know, just reset everything. It resets the kill count, cleans up the walls. Okay, so the second kind of training you want to do is drag shooting. By drag shooting, I don't mean like shooting while moving, which, you know, with an AK-47, you know, does not work. Okay, this doesn't work. But what you can do is drag shooting, I call it drag shooting, is getting the headshot while you're moving across the target. Okay, the reason for this is that you do not always have the luxury of being able to aim all your shots. I mean, you want to, but sometimes, you know, someone's just going to appear and you have to get rid of them. And, you know, in the middle of the action, you're going to be like, oh, and this blends in really well with the reflex shooting that I was talking about earlier. Like drag shooting, did you see that? That's a good shot. Okay, so it enables you to hit a target while your crosshair is moving, and this trains for many things, more than just drag shooting itself, but it also trains for your ability to quickly fire as soon as your crosshair is on someone. Okay, so you're going to be, you know, moving around in the map, and oh, someone's here, and, you know, you're going to be behaving a bit like a trigger bot, in that your reflex is going to be active to just press the key when the crosshair is going to come across the guy. So of course the farther away they are, the harder it is, but the more rewarding it is. So, you know, you can start with, you know, fairly close and easy shots like these. And then move on to, you know, further distances and so on and so forth. That's why we're using these ranges here. Okay, so that's the second kind of training. So between these two kinds of training of drag shooting, like while moving your crosshair across, and you know, reflex shooting of hitting, yeah, with a pistol, with a USB, it's not really, the shoot penalty is a lot longer lasting and stronger than with a two-handed weapon. So anyway, so yeah, the reflex shooting, which is, you know, alternating between two targets, and the drag shooting are all done on the AK-47. There's no need to use anything else. It's a very commonly used weapon, and that's the one you want to use.